Have you ever had a project go so badly that by the time it was done, you wish you'd never started? I value your time. I know you click on these videos to see things work, but sometimes you hit wall after wall and you just want to give up. A while back, I made a video about getting Klipper screen for free using an old tablet. If you've ever thought about doing this, don't. It's terrible. When you're using VNC, you're asking your Pi to encode a video stream, sending it over a crowded Wi-Fi, and decode it on a tablet that's 3 versions behind. It's a lag fest. If your print fails, you might as well kiss that build plate goodbye. By the time VNC handshake finishes, your nozzle's already carved a canyon into your bed. But hey, who needs big prints, right? You've got the right side of your bed that you could use for prints now. So when BigTreeTech offered to send me their HDMI5, I jumped at it. A direct hardware pipe, no latency, the way Klipper screen was intended to be used. If you're using a Raspberry Pi 02W as your host, might I recommend you go eat ice cream, but only if you're lactose intolerant. The experience would be much more pleasant. The 02W has exactly 1 data port. I tried to be clever, to use the transmit and receive pins to communicate with the printer's XP1 port, but for some reason, every 8 gig SD card I own refused to allow a firmware flash that would actually allow us to communicate on those pins. Now I know what my wife feels like when she tries to talk to me. My AI assistant was actually gaslighting me, suggesting I buy a 4 gig card because it was inexpensive, or even buy a 4 gig card in 2026. I spent 2 days worth of my time trying to save $5 and a hardware limitation. Then I thought, hey, don't I have a Raspberry Pi 5 sitting on my shelf? I was saving it for a custom arcade cabinet, but I figured, hey, let's just get this done and get the video out there. Get the people what they want to see. The Pi 5 is the Ferrari of the single board computing world, but it is a diva when it comes to power. If you don't give it a full 5 amp power supply, it just kept powering itself off. So yeah, if you're thinking about powering a Raspberry Pi 5 off a 15 watt phone charger, don't. Go eat ice cream. After 2 hours of trying to get that to work, I was really ready to throw the whole printer out the window. Forget this video. Who needs it? And then I remembered, I had an old Raspberry Pi 2 sitting in a junk drawer. Not old enough to be cool, but too slow to be useful. Or so I thought. It took 2 days to fail with the Pi 0, 2 hours to fail with the Raspberry Pi 5, but it took like 20 minutes to get the Pi 2 working. Why? Because it has full-size USB ports, a full-size HDMI out, and it doesn't require 26 watts of power to run. It's like that old Chevy truck, that you just jump in and it always starts, 4-wheel drive, down the dusty road, throw the lumber in the back of it. You know the one I'm talking about. It just runs. You can always depend on it. I finally got to try this display, what I wanted to do for the last week, and it's honestly fantastic. It's an amazing capacitive IPS panel. The colors are crisp, the touch is responsive, and honestly, it's amazing. Even when using an old Raspberry Pi 2. I printed this housing in Overture Blue and Orange PLA, which I think looks really sick, but I was initially planning on this going on my Inner 3 Pro, which has that color scheme throughout the entire printer, so it looks a little out of place on this Inner 3 V3. Even so, the Raspberry Pi 2 handles the load, the CPU usage stays manageable, and the printer doesn't shutter, it just works. All the problems I had setting this up were me trying to force things that weren't meant to be. Hey, what can I say? I like tinkering. Failure? Not so much. There's just something about trying to get something to work that shouldn't and then succeeding. It feels cool. That didn't happen in this project. But when you do get a project working, it's a great feeling, isn't it? If you're interested in this display, check out the link in the description. If you've had a project go sideways like this, tell me about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching.